Hello, what is going on, everybody? Liam here from Everything NYJ. Welcome back to Everything NYJ. I've been away for a little while. It feels really good to be back. I'm excited to be making more content for you guys. And let me just tell you, man, this NFL offseason has been the craziest NFL offseason of all time. In years past, if you weren't happy where you were with your team, you just sat out. We saw it firsthand, a couple years ago with Darrell Revis, and it's just been insane so far. If you're not happy where you are, you just get traded now. And there's been a ton of moves that you didn't think that you would see happen. At the ending of last season, who would have thought that going into 2022, 2023, that Tyreek Hill wouldn't be with the Kansas City Chiefs? It's just insane. That's just one move out of a million that has happened this year. Absolutely, craziness. And right now we are less than 24 hours away from the 2022 NFL draft, and after all of the clickbait, all of the rumors, it is finally coming to an end. I like this time of year. Like I kind of like the rumors and stuff. It's fun. It gives us something to talk about. Jets Twitter is always on fire with this kind of stuff. But I'm finally happy that it's coming to an end. All the rumors are going to be out of the way now. And I just want to talk about. I'm going to go over the first round right now, right? I just want to do a little video about the NFL draft coming up. I'm not going to go, position by position because it's just going to be. I could go on for hours about this. Um, I'm not going to be talking about any trade up, trade down scenarios just because that could get kind of messy at times. So we're just going to keep the draft picks as they are for right now. Obviously we have pick number 4, number 10, 35, 38, 69, 111, 117, 146, 163. We don't have any 6th or 7th round draft picks this year. I'm not complaining about it. But pick 1, or first round, I should say, pick number 4, I think it's going to be a defensive end. Robert Saleh kind of hinted at this during his Florida interview with the coaches. He just said, the best way to stop an elite quarterback is to hit him, or to stop an elite wide receiver, I should say, is to hit the quarterback. Um, the best defensive end in this draft, in my opinion, is Aiden Hutchinson, and they have him going number 1 overall in almost every mock draft. I think that if we do go defensive end at 4, I think the one that we're gonna get is Kayvon Thibodeau from Oregon. I'm hearing a lot of ups and downs about this guy. Some people are high on him, some people aren't. He turned some people off with his interviews, especially with the New York Giants, talking about his brand. He only had a couple minutes to um, kind of show off his skills and everything, and just to talk to other teams. And he spent a lot of time talking about his brand, so that turned a couple people off. People think he's gonna be a diva. But his cockiness, I kind of like his cockiness in a way because he fits the New York media. He's a stand-up guy, but his workouts, people are saying that he's quitting. So I could understand the concern about him. But I do think that if we go defensive end at 4, if Hutchinson is available, I'm going Aiden Hutchinson, no question about it, right? But I do have a big feeling that's going to be Kayvon Thibodeau. It's been rumored for months now. But Jermaine Johnson from Florida State, he's starting to make a lot of noise. I wouldn't mind drafting him at 4. I don't see the Jets really drafting Carl Loftus, from Purdue, or David Ajobu, or Ajobo, however you pronounce it, from Michigan. I just don't see those two coming here. That's not discounting them, but I just don't think that they are the best players at that position. So if we don't go defensive end, who else on defense are we gonna go? Everybody's saying Ahmed Sauce Gardner, the cornerback from Cincinnati. Wouldn't mind drafting him. And at first, I wasn't a big fan of drafting a cornerback at 4. I just think that defensive end is a bigger position of need. We haven't really had an elite, pass rusher since John Abraham in 2005. So I could understand why, defensive end is a big position of need. And I want to draft a defensive end too. Thibodeau, I'm not, like I said, 100% sold on him. If his attitude does become a problem, we do have some veterans in the locker room that are going to straighten him out. Guys like C.J. Mosley, for example. Um, and just a lot of high character guys. If Joe Douglas does like him and he does draft Thibodeau, I'm going to trust him just because I know the kind of guys that Joe Douglas likes to draft. He likes those high quality guys. He likes the good character guys. But talking about cornerback, Sauce Gardner, like I said, I wasn't a big fan of drafting a cornerback at 4. But after all, the offseason, every other team in the AFC East has an elite wide receiver, at least a couple. The Dolphins, they have Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. The Bills have Stephon Diggs. They have Jamison Crowder now. Um, the New England Patriots have Devontae Parker. They have Kendrick Bourne. So we need an elite cornerback to shut these guys down. And Robert Saleh said, going back to the defensive end, that the best way to stop an elite wide receiver, like I said, is to hit the quarterback. Yes, that makes sense, but we also need somebody we need that Revis guy. Revis holding guys to, 0 yards, 10, 20, 30 yards a game. These elite wide receivers, you think back to Calvin Johnson, you think to Chad Ochocinco. We haven't had that in a long time. I do kind of like our cornerback room the way it is now, but it could be upgraded, it could always be upgraded, guys. So if we don't go defensive end or cornerback, I think we will go one of these positions. But for argument's sake, let's say we don't go, you know, one of these positions. Maybe we go safety. Marcus May left. We do have Whitehead. We do have Joyner. But I don't think that any of these guys are really top tier safeties. Maybe Whitehead is. I'm not too sure. But maybe we go Kyle Hamilton from Notre Dame, or maybe even Jalen Petrie from Baylor. I don't see us getting a safety in the first round, but I'm just saying for argument's sake, if we do, I don't see it being Petrie, but I do think that he is the second best corner in this. I'm sorry, safety in this draft. I haven't done one of these videos in a while. I can't even talk. It's been a long day. But if we do go safety, I think it's going to be Kyle Hamilton from Notre Dame. I wouldn't be too upset at that. But yeah, so for pick number 4, I think it's either going to be a defensive end or cornerback. I would be shocked if it was a safety, but you never know. I do think it's going to be a defensive player no matter what. Our defense was just so bad last year that it needs an upgrade. It needs big upgrades. So round 1, pick 10. Let's say we do have it and we don't give it away to Deebo Samuel. We'll get to that in a little bit. If you guys haven't watched, we did do it here at Everything NYJ. We did do a Deebo Samuel video. Gino, the new co-host for the Everything NYJ podcast, touched on it. If you guys haven't checked it out, please go check it out. Give it a thumbs up, like, share, subscribe to the video. Do that to the whole channel too, especially if you guys like this kind of content. We have plenty more content coming out. Anyway, I'm getting off track. So round 1, pick 10, I think it's going to be a wide receiver. The wide receiver that I want is Garrett Wilson from Ohio State. I want, it's either going to be him or Chris Olave from Ohio State. Wouldn't be mad at either one. I just think that Garrett Wilson kind of fits that scheme of the route running and stuff. The West Coast offense, slants, that kind of stuff, wheel routes. Some people are saying Drake London. I don't think I'd be too upset with Drake London. The only problem that I have personally with Drake London, I haven't watched all of his games. I'm not going to, sit here and pretend to be an expert on all these guys because I'm really not. But from what I have seen, what I'm hearing, I have seen some of Drake London. I have watched a couple USC games. The thing with Drake London, I have a feeling that I get the impression that he has a hard time getting separation. He's more of just kind of, throw it down the field and have him jump up and catch the ball. He kind of struggles, with cornerbacks. He doesn't really get a whole lot of separation. That's just my personal opinion. I do think he's going to be a wide receiver wherever he goes. I just don't think he's the best fit for the New York Jets right now. So yeah, I want Garrett Wilson, like I said, but Treylon Burks is out there, Chris Olave, Drake London, Joan Dotson from Penn State. I wouldn't be too mad at him, but I just don't think that he's the best wide receiver in this draft. My personal opinion, I think the best wide receiver in this draft is Garrett Wilson. Also, at pick 10, if for whatever reason, let's say we do get Deebo Samuel, or we do get a wide receiver from then to now. Some people are saying that we could go with the offensive line, and I wouldn't be mad at offensive line, but I just don't want how many times are we going to spend first round draft picks on an offensive lineman? We've done a lot of offensive lineman work in these past couple years, Mekhi Becton, Elijah Vera Tucker. If we do, I think it might be Evan Neal from Alabama, the offensive tackle. I wouldn't be mad at him, especially just with George Fant's deal coming up, and we don't know what's going on with him. He hasn't actually re-signed yet. So Ike Ekwonu from North Carolina State, the offensive tackle, wouldn't be mad at him. Charles Cross from Mississippi State, Tyler Linderbaum at center from Iowa. This is probably who I'd be most happy with, just because I do think the center position needs to be upgraded. I don't have anything bad about to say about Connor McGovern. I like Connor McGovern, but I'm not hugely, I'm not like overly sold on him. I don't think he's a huge center moving forward. There was a couple plays last year where he'd kind of quit on his blocks, and he's not Nick Mangold. He's no Nick Mangold. I've been wanting a center since Creed Humphreys a couple years ago. I've been wanting to upgrade the center position for a couple years now. A lot of people have mixed emotions on Connor McGovern. Some people love him, some people don't like him. I'm 50-50 on him. I don't think he's horrible, but I do think that there's better options out there, such as Linderbaum. But maybe we go Texas A&M, Kenyon Green, or we go Zion Johnson from Boston College. Those are really the only offensive linemen that I could see the Jets taking in the first round. That's just if they do go offensive line in the first round. I don't see it happening. I really think it's going to be either defensive end, cornerback, and then wide receiver at 4 and 10, somewhere in that position. That's gonna wrap it up for the first round. I'm just gonna kind of go position by position now at the later rounds. Second round, if we don't get Sauce Gardner at cornerback at 4 or 10, I think that we got to address it at 35. 38, I would go linebacker. I think the linebacker room's a little weak, and CJ Mosley's coming up on the ending of his deal soon. Not sure if he's gonna want to re-sign. And then we don't have another draft pick until pick 69. I wouldn't mind going wide receiver again, just double dipping for some depth. From here on out, I think it's just kind of be some depth guys. They're not really expecting anybody to start. But I don't think as of right now, the wide receiver position is better than it was last year. Obviously, we re-signed Braxton Berrios. That was big. We have Corey Davis. He was on pace for 1,000 yards before his injury. We have Elijah Moore, who was on pace for 1,000 yards before his injury. I think that this is the most talent that we've had at the wide receiver position for in the last couple of years. But I don't think it's great by any means. Maybe if we get Deebo Samuel in the room, that will be obviously a huge upgrade. But like I'm saying, for the sake of this draft video, he's not on the Jets right now. There's no reason to talk about him right now because he's not on the team right now. So I didn't want to do any, trade up, trade downs, and giving San Francisco the 10th overall pick and giving them whoever. I would just kind of stayed away from that. So yeah, I would go pick 69. I would say would be a wide receiver. Pick 111 would be an offensive lineman, just getting some more depth in there. Becton hasn't necessarily proved that he could stay healthy. 117, I would go safety again, just getting some more depth in there. Pick 146 at defensive end. Pick 163 at tight end. The tight end position has just been overhauled, but we're really just like one injury away from being screwed again. I do like what they've done at the tight end position, but I know we have Kenny Yeboah as depth. I like that move. I would just maybe throw a guy in the practice squad. But that's going to wrap it up. What do you guys think of my draft video? Do you guys like it? Do you guys agree with it? If you don't agree with it, leave me a comment in the comment section. I'll get back to you. Follow me on Twitter at everythingnyj. We have a Instagram page now, _everythingnyj. Give us a follow there. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out. We're trying to get to 50 views. Thank you guys for watching. We're going to have more videos coming out after the draft. We're going to do some draft recap videos, give our opinions, me and Gino. If you're not familiar with Gino, go give him a follow on Twitter at ItalyJet. Thank you guys for watching. It's been a pleasure as always. My name is Liam. Go Jets, baby. Talk to you guys soon. Thank you.